Hey, welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And today we want to do our final episode in the series of top rank top rank free agents. And today we're going to talk about the corners and the free safeties. And this is a market that the Pittsburgh Steelers may be shoppers in. They may be shoppers in this market. Still kind of like everything else, really not no real big name guys out there. But what I've seen lately is the guys that's getting cut and getting released. Actually, you might find a better deal in some of those guys than some of these free agents. But yeah, the receiver, I mean the cornerback and safety uh, market, Pittsburgh Steelers may be some buyers in this one. So hey, how you doing, Yolanda? So with that said, we can kind of just jump on into it and talk about these guys that's available. And I obviously is more guys, but these are like my top five guys that I think will probably get the most action, I guess you could say, as far as other teams, trying to sign them. But again, when you look at this list, it's not a it's not a big time list on guys that's on this list, but it's some guys that I think the Pittsburgh Steelers they may have a small interest in some of these guys. So as we know, the number one guy I think is going to be corner Jalen Watson, 6'2", 197 pounds, only 27 years old. Um, still, still, will the Chiefs actually let him um get into free agency? I don't think they're going to tag him, so I don't really think that's going to happen. But a young guy, a young corner. His production wasn't really bad. Let's see here. So he had let's see what he had here. All right, yeah. So his production is not really bad, but not great. 64 tackles. He had 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 6 pass defense. So like I said again, you're not gonna find that star corner. Like I say, teams are doing a much better job of keeping their own, but it will be some guys that'll fall through the cracks of making it to free agency. And this is a guy. I think he's a guy that some team may sign him as a number one, but all these guys here, I see them all as number twos, but I also see them as solid number twos. So this is where I was saying that the Steelers could be a buyer because um, we definitely gonna have a corner shortage, I guess you could say, because Pierre is a free agent, which I don't think the Steelers are going to be bringing him back, and Ashanti Samuel Jr. I just don't know what the deal is with him. Will they try to re-sign him? I mean, obviously, if they re-sign him, he's probably going to come back and be the number two, and then that would kind of take the Steelers out this market. But if but he's an unrestricted free agent, so I'm quite sure he definitely want to test the market. So you never know once the guy gets out there, if they can, can you get him back? So that's going to be very interesting. So all these guys, I think most of these guys will really work for the Steelers and could really slide into that number two um, corner position and pair up with Joey Porter Junior, and you'll have a nice starting tandem at the corner positions. Um, I think this is probably the one guy that I would definitely say no to. And Jamel Dean, 6'1", 206. He's 29, so he's not super old, but he's like the oldest guy, I think, in this group. And but he actually had a solid year. 46 tackles, 1 sack, 3 interceptions. He had 2 forced fumbles, 9 pass defense, and a touchdown. Um, Again, he's 29. I'm not sure when he's going to turn 30. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing, man? I don't know what when he's going to turn 30, but again, I don't know how interested I would really be in him. But he had a solid year. Now this is a guy that intrigues me. Number 3, um, Rick Woolen, 6'4", 210 pounds. He's 26 years old. Um, Played very well for Seattle. I like his size, being 6'4", and you got Porter on the other side is 6'3". This is a guy, if I'm the Steelers, I would really take a look at. I would, 'cause I think he probably won't be back in Seattle. Um, he had 41 tackles, 1 interception, and 12 pass defense. So right there, that lets you know that 6'4" frame, he gets in a lot of passing lanes and he knocks down a lot of balls. Um, so this is the guy I would probably bring him in. If I'm the Steelers, I probably bring him in for a visit and really see, check, to just get to know him a little bit. But I like that 6'4" frame. I like having a big corner, and that would because the thing the Steelers have to do, our matchup problem is the Cincinnati Bengals. So at 6'4", that's going to give you a guy that can definitely match up with T. Higgins, and you have Porter Porter will have to just do his best with Lamar Chase, but it just give you that size in your backfield, and he's a type guy, not really a shutdown corner, but like I say, he's 6'4", and I think just by seeing those 12 pass defense, that lets you know he gets his hands on a lot of balls, and what he probably don't have in speed, he has in makeup with those long arms, and just kind of like Joey Porter. Joey Porter is really not a speed burner, but he's 6'3" and he has super long arms. So that makes up for maybe not having that ideal speed because he can still get an arm out there. And so now you can have two of those guys. So he's definitely a guy that I would be very interested in getting, trying to sign. And yeah, he's gonna have to, he's gonna want a nice contract, but he's not gonna have one of these contracts that's gonna really break the bank. And the Steelers had the money, so I would definitely take a look at him. Mr. Taylor here. I kind of like this kid. 6 foot, 199 pounds, 27 years old. Um, Playing down there in Atlanta. Excuse me, in New Orleans. Don't really hear too much about him, but he's a solid player. He's a solid player. Um, I wouldn't be shocked if New Orleans really try to, get him back. 83 tackles. He had 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 11 pass defense. Again, he's a guy. He gets his hands on a lot of balls. And he's another guy that I would be very interested in taking a harder look at. And I would probably bring him in for a visit. And like I say, the one thing with these guys, they're not going to really they're not going to be in line for that $80 million, $90 million kind. They're not in line for that. So these are guys that I think you give them a nice guarantee. You probably can get these guys for 4 years, 40 million, something like that, or maybe a little tinge more. But guys is just not going to throw your salary cap all out of whack. And they're decent players. They're decent players. Like now, none of these guys are type guys that I would have try to bring in as a number one corner, but as a number two and put them on the side of Joey Porter. These guys will work. This guy here I really don't like. Greg Newsome. You can have him. uh, I don't. I don't know. I don't really think he's that good. But again, he's 6 foot, 192 pounds, 25 years old. Again, a young guy, and he's gonna it's gonna be a market out there for him. Again, he's a guy. If you bring him in as a number two, he's gonna be pretty decent. Now, me personally, especially seeing him play a lot when he played for the Browns, I didn't really think he was anything special about him. But he went down to Jacksonville, had 52 tackles, 1 interception, 9 pass defense. Um, you know, just an average guy. I wouldn't really be too interested in him. But again, he's gonna get a nice contract. He's gonna get a nice contract from somebody. Because corners are just, everybody need them. You always need them. And if especially you 25 years old, somebody's gonna definitely jump in and try to sign them. So let's go to the safeties, in which I think the Steelers are, they're going to be in this market too. The Steelers actually need, honestly, we need 2 safeties, but they definitely, I think they're going to bring in a young guy, but a free safety, I think they need. And it's a couple of guys that's kind of interesting. The number one guy I think is Reed Blankenship, 6'1", 203. He's 26 years old, playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Another guy that I don't know. I don't really see Philadelphia kind of letting him get out of there. We'll see what they end up doing, but he had 83 tackles, one forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception, and 4 pass defense. So solid guy, nothing really special, but he kind of get the job done. He played well in Philadelphia, so we'll see if Philly is going to try to bring him back. But I think right now he might be the number one guy. Now here go a guy that had a hell of a year. Kevin Bernard, 5'11", 218, but he's 32 years old. So I would pass on him, but he had a great year. He had a great year with the Bears. He had, as you can see, 93 tackles, 7 interceptions, and 8 pass defense. But this is a guy that I can almost see him maybe staying in Chicago. It's not going to really be, even though with those great numbers, he's not going to have a real big market just because of his age. You may have a team. You know what? He'll be one of those guys that probably won't sign until late, almost training camp. And you may get a team that that have an injury, or just a team that think they need just one little piece. They might try to bring him in, but at 32, that's going to be a red flag for a lot of teams, and he's not going to really get that much action. but he had a great year last year. I mean, with the Bears in general, that whole defense had a great year, especially turning, with turnovers. Those guys was like a turnover machine. Um, Another interesting guy here, Ronnie Hickman Jr. Now, this is a guy, 6'1", 209 pounds, 24 years old. He was an undrafted free agent, and I mean, I have to give the Browns credit. They developed him. They truly developed him. Me personally, I think the Browns is going to maybe franchise him and keep him. Um, I feel like when you get guys like that, it's a waste to go through all that, develop those guys, and then let them go. I think sometimes you have to keep some of your guys that you and really put time and invest time into. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns, but I think this is a kid that I would definitely be interested in taking a deeper look into him for the Steelers. As you can see, he had 103 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 pass defense. And like I said, this was an undrafted rookie that just kept getting better and better, and ended up working his way into the lineup. And I, like I said, I give the Browns credit. They really developed this kid. So if I'm them, doing all that, I can't just watch him walk out the door. But we'll see what happens. This is a guy that I really have my eye on for the Steelers. Cameron Curl, 6'2", 205. He's 26 years old. I want to say he's a undrafted free agent when he came out. And I know he played for Washington for a second. I think he got traded, but he's developed into a good player. And I just think the Rams do things different. The Rams are kind of like, hey, they'll let you get the free agency and let you walk, and they got a next. The Rams do a good job of developing guys and basically having that next up type guy. So the Rams are like one of them teams. They know we're about to lose this guy, but we got the next guy waiting in the wings to take over. And they let a lot of their guys leave, um, per free agency, but it saves them because they're not paying that big salary because they'll have another younger guy that'll step in. But if you look at his numbers, 122 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 5 pass defense. This is a guy that I hope the Steelers take a look at and maybe bring him into Pittsburgh. My original thought was that I thought Chris Shula was probably going to be the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I was thinking that he would come over with his coach. So we'll see. We'll see if he's going to stay in L.A. or he's going to test the market and be somewhere else. But this is a guy from the safety standpoint. If I'm the Steelers, I would try to maybe bring him in for a visit and see what he's talking about. Because it's definitely a spot for him, that they could use him. So again, we'll see how that goes. And then the last guy is Andrew Wingard, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 29. So he's right at that cusp. I'm not really sure when he turns 30. Probably end up staying in Jacksonville. 84 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, nine pass defense. So again, nothing special, just a solid player. Um, really doesn't do too much for me, but that's it. So that's the corners and safeties. But like I said, I think the secondary market, and when I'm calling the secondary market, is these guys that's going to start getting cut and released. It's going to be some big time names. I actually heard a rumor that the Browns may release Denzel Ward. Um, I mean, my only issue with Ward is, kind of injuries. He have a lot of soft tissue injuries and was kind of dealing with the concussions a little bit. But I mean, that's a Pro Bowl corner. That's a Pro Bowl corner that may get released. And it's just I think that's where your better market actually is going to come from, guys that's going to get cut, because the free agent market is especially this year is just not it's not too hot. Yeah, Yolanda, I heard that, yeah, that nothing from the Browns, but it's just rumors out there that he may be a guy that they cut. It's crazy. I watched that kid play in high school. He's here, he's from the Cleveland area, and I would be kind of shocked if they release him. I think if anything, they may restructure his contract. I think they got to go that route before they would just let him go, because it'd be a lot of mad people around here if they just cut him. So I truly believe, if anything, the Browns may restructure his contract. Um, because he's kind of tied in here to the community. His mom is here, and I really don't really see him wanting to go anywhere. So I think if they came to him with a restructure, I think he would probably do that. But yeah, that was one of the things they were saying, that he may be on the cut list. But it's gonna be some other guys. It's gonna be some other guys that definitely is going to be getting cut, and I think it's going to be a good market. Like, you already seen Tyreek Hill got it. Uh, People talking about him maybe coming to the Steelers. I don't know, because I don't even know when he's going to be healthy enough to start working out, running, and all that stuff. And I don't know if Steelers going to really um go for that, but we'll see. I think who else did Miami cut? I think they cut Bradley Chubb. Kind of on the older side now. He's getting up there, but still a decent edge rusher. But the only problem with him, it's a lot of edge rushers coming out in this year's draft. If you need an edge rusher, you can get one. You can get one, because it's a ton of them coming out this year. So that maybe knock his value down, or his chances of getting with another team. It's definitely going to hurt him as far as negotiation, if he's trying to get another decent contract, whoever signs him. But it's going to be a ton of guys. It's going to be a ton of guys. I mean, just like here in Pittsburgh, they're talking they're talking maybe Patrick Queen getting cut. So I just think that's going to really be the market, because this free agent. I mean, as we went through this stuff, the free agent market is kind of weak, to say the least. So that's it. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we should have a mock draft maybe coming out on Saturday. We'll do another mock draft, and we'll just keep those going. We're done reviewing the free agents, and like I said, we're just gonna have to keep our eye on, once these teams start releasing guys, because it's gonna be some great talent out there. We got the combine coming up next week, so that'll be exciting times. It's a couple of guys I got my eye on, especially a couple of receivers. I want to see how those guys run. There's a couple corners I want to see how they perform. Um, I think those are really the two areas that the Steelers are probably looking at the most, at least with first round picks. So we will see. We'll see what's going on there. And yeah, this is the crazy time of the NFL. But this is where your team can, rebuild and replace some guys and add some guys. So we'll see how it goes. So until then, you guys take care, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye bye.